Hi, Inxy. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me. Today's interview is part of our editorial feature titled Silent Elegance, which highlights your graduate collection and the poetic inspiration behind it. I'm excited to hear more about how mythology, nature, and emotion come together in your design process. So the first question is, why did you choose the Shangri as the inspiration for this collection? What does it represent to you personally?
I've always been drawn to myths and legends. They just really spark my imagination. I spent a lot of time digging into old stories and folklore, and that's how I came across the idea of nature spirit from Chinese mythology. What fascinates me is that she's kind of undefined. No one really knows what she is. Maybe a ghost, maybe a shaman, maybe something in between. She's mysterious, wild, and powerful, and there's so much room to interpret her freely. That's actually what attracted me the most. She isn't locked into one specific image like, say, the nymphs in Greek mythology, who are usually portrayed as beautiful young women hanging around lakes and rivers. But to me, the nature spirit feels more like a dark, ethereal force, someone I can shape through my own lens. She's not here to be pleasing. She's here to exist on her own terms. So that idea really resonated with me.
The title Silent Elegance feels very poetic. What kind of fashion attitude do you hope it conveys?
For me, it's about quiet confidence. It's the idea of showing beauty, strength, and elegance in a subtle, almost mysterious way, without shouting for attention. I don't think everything needs to be loud or obvious to be powerful. I like when something draws you in slowly, and maybe not everyone gets it the right way, and that's okay. It's about expressing something authentic, whether people understand it or not.
What stereotypes or traditional ideas about nature or feminine power are you hoping to challenge through this collection?
I think a lot of mythical female figures like the nature spirit or goddess are usually imagined as these seductive young women who symbolize life, fertility, and beauty. That often comes from a very mere-centered point of view, I think, where the nature becomes something both desirable and sacred, but still framed through what others want to see. To me, the nature is a way more complex. It's beautiful, yes, but also powerful, silent, sometimes even dark and brutal. It doesn't bend into human expectations, and a lot of natural things are still beyond our understanding. I wanted to bring that kind of energy into this collection, the parts of nature that are quiet but unstoppable, mysterious but grounded. And when it comes to women, whether they are real or mythical, I think they should be free to show what outside of themselves they want. They can be strong, elegant, mysterious, soft, fierce, all at once. There's no fixed mold they have to fit into. Their beautiful power isn't about pleasing animals. It's about following their own path.
When designing, how did you draw inspiration from plants or animals? Was it through their literal forms or more abstract quality, like movements and texture?
I would say mostly the shapes, but also a little bit of the vibe. I believe everything in nature has its own kind of beauty. For example, I designed these exaggerated sleeves based on the back legs of big cats. And some sculptural tops take cues from horns and ram horns. I- I've also used the pleated details inspired by insects or silk cocoons. And then there's more flowing, delicate parts like the ribbons or the sheer fabric that move like the wines in the wind or rippling water. I try to blend soft and strong texture in a way that feels true to how the nature works. Nothing is just one thing.
Out of these looks, which one do you feel best represents your version of the natural spirit? Why that one is particular?
Honestly, not really. There's no like single look that like fits her most, but every look was designed with her as my muse. I tried to capture her spirit through different angles, some more grounded, others more dreamlike. The overall goal was to show how strength and softness can exist together in more than wearable way.
Is there a specific detail like a cut, fabric, or accessory that you really hope audience will notice and appreciate?
Definitely, the shapes and accessories were partly inspired by the tribal clothing. So you'll see things like asymmetric capes and draped shoulders, as well as large handcrafted silver jewelry. When it came to materials, I was really interested in the contrast. I wanted something that felt both powerful and delicate. So I used shiny full leather to show raw strength and wideness and paired it with light, airy fabric like chiffon and sheer lace to bring that dreamy, elegant side. Structured fabric like suede or thick leather help give the garments a strong silhouette. Those sharpened lines, but then you have silk and tulle that moves with the body, adding that sense of fluidity and grace. I love how the materials shift when someone walks. It adds this quiet, unexpected drama.
After seeing this collection, what kind of impression or emotion do you hope the audience is left with?
I hope people can feel the presence of a woman who's confident and powerful, but also mysterious and graceful. Someone who doesn't need to explain herself, who follows her own rhythm. She might feel a little unreasonable, but that's part of her charm. I want the collection to leave behind a sense of quiet strength, elegance, and curiosity, something that lingers.